Hello there, it's Beck and
Good
Deb,
morning.
and welcome to this week's vlog. So as always, wherever you're watching this, there's lots of ways to connect with us. You can connect with us on YouTube, Dare to Be You. We have a Facebook group, Dare to Be You with a purple heart. We are on LinkedIn under Deborah Simmons, or you can go to our website, daretobeyou.co.uk, and sign up for our mailing list. So today, this week, our vlog is a little bit different. We decided there was a blog, or I think it's sort of a blog poem type thing, that Deb read out at a retreat a few years ago that had a massive impact on me. And she chose to read it out because it had had an impact on her too. So we're going to share that one with you today. Deb's going to read that. Then I have rewritten it in a slightly different way, and I'm going to share that. So the blog is actually, the original one is about kind of choosing your partner every day, kind of making that choice to be in the relationship with them. And then I've written my version of it is about choosing yourself every day, because I really saw kind of how that fits into what we point to. So Deb's going to read the original version, and then I'm going to share my version.
Okay, yes. So this version is by a man named Brian Reeves. I believe I've gone right to the bottom. Yeah, Brian Reeves. So I don't know who he is, but this massively impacted me around my relationship and really changed things for me. I kind of saw this just made so much sense. So I will read it out for you. It's called Choose Her Every Day. I spent 5 years hurting a good woman by staying with her but never fully choosing her. I did want to be with this one. I really wanted to choose her. She was an exquisite woman, brilliant and funny and sexy and sensual. She could make my whole body laugh with her quick, dark wit and short-circuit my brain with her exotic beauty. Waking up every morning with her snuggled in my arms was my happy place. I loved her wildly. Unfortunately, as happens with many young couples, our ignorance of how to do love well quickly created stressful challenges in our relationship. Before long, once my early morning blissful reverie gave way to the strained, immature ways of our everyday life together. I would often wonder if there was another woman out there who was easier to love and who could love me better. As the months passed, that thought reverberated more and more through my head. I chose her less and less. Every day for 5 years, I chose her a little less. I stayed with her. I just stopped choosing her. We both suffered. Choosing her would have meant focusing every day on the gifts she was bringing into my life that I could be grateful for. Her laughter, beauty, sensuality, playfulness, companionship, and so much more. Sadly, I often found it nearly impossible to embrace or even see what was so wildly wonderful about her. I was too focused on the anger, insecurities, demands, and other aspects of her strong personality that grated on me. The more I focused on her worst, the more I saw of it, and the more I mirrored it back to her by offering my own worst behaviour. Naturally, this only magnified the strain on our relationship, which still made me choose her even less. Thus did our nasty death spiral play itself out over 5 years. She fought hard to make me choose her. That's a fool's task. You can't make someone choose you, even when they might love you. To be fair, she didn't fully choose me either. The rage-fueled invective she often hurled at me was evidence enough of that. I realise now, however, that she was often angry because she didn't feel safe with me. She felt me not choosing her every day. In my words and my actions, she was afraid I would abandon her. Actually, I did abandon her. By not fully choosing her every day for 5 years, by focusing on what bothered me rather than what I adored about her, I deserted her. Like a precious, fragrant flower, I brought proudly into my home, but then failed to water. I left her alone in countless ways to wither in the dry, hot heat of our immature relationship. I will never not choose another woman I love again. It's torture for everyone. If you're in a relationship, I invite you to ask yourself this question: why am I choosing my partner today? If you can't find a satisfying answer, dig deeper and find one. It could be as simple as noticing that in your deepest heart's truth, I just do. If you can't find it today, ask yourself again tomorrow. We all have disconnected days. But if too many days go by and you just can't connect with why you're choosing your partner and your relationship is rife with stress, let them go. Create the opening for another human being to show up and see them with fresh eyes and a yearning heart that will enthusiastically choose them every day. Your loved one deserves to be enthusiastically chosen every day. You do too. Choose wisely.
So I kind of rewrote that in my version of choosing yourself, because to me, all healthy relationships start with self. So this was my version. I spent 4 years hurting myself by not fully choosing me. I did want to be me. I really wanted to choose me and be honest with myself. I was an exquisite woman, brilliant, funny, sexy, sensual. I could make myself laugh. Waking up every morning, snuggling up was my happy place. I used to love myself wildly. Unfortunately, as happens with my ignorance of how to do self-love, well, it created stressful challenges in my relationship with me. Before long, once my young, blissful ignorance of life gave way to the misunderstanding of everyday life, I would often wonder if there was a person out there who would make life easier and who could love me better. As the months passed and that thought reverberated more and more through my head, I chose myself less and less. Every day for 4 years, I chose myself a little less. I just stopped choosing myself and I suffered. Choosing me would have meant focusing every day on the gifts I was bringing into my life that I could be grateful for. My laughter, beauty, sensuality, playfulness, companionship, and so much more. Sadly, I often found it nearly impossible to embrace or even see what was so wildly wonderful about me. I was too focused on the anger, insecurities, demands, and other aspects of my personality that grated on me. The more I focused on the worst of me, the more I saw of it, and the more I projected that out into the world. Naturally, this only magnified the strain on my life, which still made me choose myself even less. Thus did the nasty death spiral play itself out over 4 years. I fought hard with myself to make me choose. That's a fool's task. I realise now, however, that I was often angry because I didn't feel safe with me. I felt me not choosing myself every day in my words and my actions, and I was afraid. Actually, I abandoned myself. By not fully choosing me every day for 4 years, by focusing on what bothered me rather than what I adored about myself, I deserted me. Like a precious fragrant flower I had brought proudly into the house. Then failed to water. I left myself alone in countless ways to wither in the dry, hot heat of lack. I'll never not choose myself again. It's torture for everyone. I invite you to ask yourself this question: why am I choosing myself today? If you can't find a satisfying answer, dig deeper and find one. It could be as simple as noticing that in your deepest heart's truth, I just do. If you can't find it today, ask yourself tomorrow. We all have disconnected days. But if too many days go by and you just can't connect with why you're choosing yourself, let go. Create the opening for wisdom to show up and see yourself with fresh eyes and a yearning heart that will enthusiastically choose you every day. You deserve to be enthusiastically chosen every day. Choose wisely.
That's lovely. Thanks, Beck. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did and you'd like to connect with us more, wherever it is that you're seeing this, there's probably somewhere else that we pop up. We have a YouTube channel that is Dare to Be You. We have a Facebook group, Dare to Be You, with a purple heart at the end. We're on LinkedIn under my name, Deborah Simmons. And we have a website, daretobeyou.co.uk, where you can sign up to our mailing list so that you never miss anything that we're up to. So a massive thank you again to Brian Reeves for that. I think it impacted both of us hugely, and I loved your version of it, Beck, because it's absolutely true. The relationship you have with yourself reflects every other relationship. So yeah. Thank you very much. Bye.